Good morning, everybody. This is Daniel on Peace and Plenty Farms. So we're getting started this morning. Let's take a look with what's going on with everybody. So the little silky chicks are out snooping around. The marans are here. She has started laying eggs. We need to check on that this morning. The pigs are already awake, which is unusual. They're usually still sleeping. I didn't hear any coughing yesterday when I was out here, but I'm going to keep a sharp eye out on them and see if they do any better. Let's see if we can sneak up on the bunnies. They are a lot more jumpy than you would think, but there they are right there. They are staying in that pipe right there. Now they'll come out. They were out yesterday, and I'll grab the camera if we see them out again today. But with the pigs right here beside them, they're not going to come out. But the pigs will go lay down in a few minutes, and the little bunnies will come out. They like having a safe haven inside this dog cage that I put in here, their little space. And then this is the chickens' little area that they can get to. It's covered up right here. I already walked by the 3 female does that are expecting, and no sign of any babies. There's a little bit of hair pulling out, getting ready. But I had to go get another roll of wire for the last section of the gate. And this is the green gate that we'll put inside the barn. It'll be inside the barn on the right to access the stall. And this is one of those gate latches that bypass. It's a bypass gate latch. That way you can swing the gate in or out and swing it, and it'll just catch on its own. And the battery fell over. I hit a pothole. No, actually it was a railroad crossing. And the battery slipped out of the battery tray on the Toyota, and the bottom corner of the battery got into the fan belt, and all the acid leaked out. So I've got to put some baking soda in there to neutralize that battery acid, and then switch out the battery on the T100. But the biggest project today, I'm going to take the truck and back it up to the top of the hill, and I'll unload that wire, unload it at the top of the hill right there, and roll it out, and do this last section out here and hang this this gate. That will completely close off everything where I can let the goats out. Probably will tether the goats today back on their little chains, just so they're not over here pestering me while I'm trying to hang this gate. They'll try to slip out or whatever. But this is the last section that we need to do, and we're going to get it done this morning. It's the section that runs behind the trailer here, this is going to be a 50 by 20 carriage house right here one day. But we're going to run that fence down right here and over, and there's the gate. We'll hang that gate right here today. We can get that done. Then tomorrow we can let the goats out into that area, and they can just have that whole field all day tomorrow, but not today. Today's their last day. Just don't want to be bothered with them while I'm working. I appreciate everybody watching. Please like, share, comment, because it's about growing together. Thank you. Those copper marans are really giving those silkies a hard time. I need to separate them as soon as I can. I'm leaving to go out of town for my sweet daughter's wedding. They know they have a safety place inside that. See how she just ran inside that silky coop area? She knows that she's safe once she gets in there. But they're going to have access to free roam the entire property. I'm going to put a gate in right there where that plywood is. I'm sorry, let's see. There's a piece of plastic, and I can barely see it. But the silkies will have access to free range the front yard, and the marans will be alone in this area with the pigs and the rabbits. Right now, the silky, one of the silky chicks is brooding the about 6, I think, silky eggs. And I want to check and see. I know that this copper maran started laying eggs about 4 or 5 days ago. So let's go in here and take a quick peek and see. Let's turn the electric fence off. Let's take a quick peek in here. Maybe the light is up enough where we can look in here and see. I have a catch I put on this door so that it'll stay open. So she's in there giving it her all. There's enough light in here today where we can see her. Gonna have to fill up her food. It's getting a little low. But how many eggs has the copper laid so far? Okay, so she's laid 4. She's laid 4, and I want to incubate those. Let's run up here and check the black marans. This Red Ranger, I know you all may have seen the Blue Ranger that I had 70,000 original miles. I got it for next to nothing, that Blue Ranger, but I worked on that thing. New gas tank, new fuel pump, low pressure, high pressure fuel pumps, electrical pieces and parts. I replaced everything. Plugs, wires, cap, map sensor, all kinds of sensors I replaced in that blue Ford, and it had a miss in the engine. And I even put a new transmission in it. Cost $1,300 for the transmission, plus all my time and labor. And I drove it up to Maryland as a quick run to Maryland that we do for the business. It's about a 2-hour trip, hour and 45-minute trip. And I got up there and the transmission went out, and then it wouldn't start. So not only did the transmission go out, I lost reverse and overdrive, but then the engine wouldn't start. In fact, it was missing and sputtering the whole way up there. So it was not even worth towing that truck back. A friend of mine up there, I just told him, I said, do what you want with it. Get the junkyard to come get it. So this truck now is complete waste. I don't need it, don't want it, will never buy another Ranger again. I lost so much money on that little truck, 70,000 original miles, and I could not get it to run right. And just gave it away. I mean, I just put a transmission in it last week. It didn't have 50 miles on it. What I want to do is I want to check on these black marans that are in here. He is a monster chicken. He is huge. I don't know if I can put it in perspective, if he'll let me get down here with him, but there's my hand. But he is beautiful, and he dominates the entire property with his crowing in the morning, and it's so strong and so long. None of the other roosters start crowing until after he's finished. He's the dominant one around here, and he's able to let them know with just his crow that he's the biggest bird. So I'm trying to think now. I had 2 eggs in here. Yeah, these 2 eggs are the ones that I put in here originally to try to help get her to start laying, and there's no luck here. Let me just open, this little door opens. Someone gave me this little tiny, I just want to look around back here and make sure that there's no eggs. So I'm gonna put those 2 there. Those are just to help her start laying. I want her to start laying before I let them back out of this area. They refuse to stay in this area. So I had built this tunnel right here, but if I take this plastic bag out, there's a tunnel right here. They can go into the garden area. So we're letting some lettuce grow in there right now, and we're forcing them to get used to staying in this area and waiting for her to start laying. So she should start laying here pretty soon. The other one's 4 days ahead of her. But that is one pretty bird to me. I didn't think black would be a pretty bird to have, but I really like those. The black marans. So if I had 4 eggs from her, it would justify starting the incubator up and incubating about 8 or 10 eggs. You know, they would lay 1 each a day, 2 a day out of both of them, and I could add those to the incubator for about a week, you know, and then just try to incubate 10 or 12 eggs. But she's not laying yet, so hopefully she'll start. We'll get about 8 or 10 eggs together, and then we'll get the incubator out, because that Silky that I showed you in there, she's the only real broody one that I have right now. I think the other hen, the half red, half silky hen, I don't think she's going to go broody again soon. So we'll just use the incubator and get this process going. Thanks for watching. Oh my goodness, I am ready for lunch. Okay, so I put this little catch in here. It's a 2-way catch. It's kind of, this is the last section that the last section of fence and the gate I was telling you about, and it swings open, and then you can drive right through. And we've got this last wire section up. None of the electrical is up yet, but all of the wire is up. I can actually go let the goats out. If I go close the gates at the other end of the property, we can let them out. I'm going to cut these off real quick, close the gate, go get some lunch. Okay, here I am at the far north end of the property. I had to put that support back in and then close these gates. I'm going to need to extend this wire right here because it doesn't quite touch the ground. And I'm going to cut myself 2 8-foot pieces of fencing board and slide them in here, and that way they can slide in and lock. If it's 8 foot long, it'll reach back to here. Put one there and one up here, sliding in between. It'll come down and slide in through and lock. So we've got that to run back up here to do a piece of fencing wire and 2 8-foot fencing boards to make locks for that gate. Okay, on my way to get lunch, and I swung by here to let the goats out. Of course, the chickens came out with them. I thought it'd be interesting to see the look when they finish their oats and realize that they're not chained up. We'll see what they do here. Hannah always gets a drink of water when she's finished eating. She drinks way more than Sophie does. Sophie is starting to get a little wider in her abdomen there. It's kind of looking like maybe she is pregnant. She's starting to really get wide there. Hopefully that'd be exciting on the farm. We probably would get rid of Hannah if Sophie had any babies, but because she's just a pain. She's old and difficult. We'll see. Maybe she'll straighten out. They're looking around. I don't think they've realized they're not chained up yet. Of course, Hannah goes straight for the food can. They're starting to realize they're free. I figured they'd go for those tree leaves first thing. Looking for their favorite. Hannah's not that, Sophie's not as picky as Hannah is. But I'm glad Hannah's finally eating something. She won't eat the grass. She's extremely picky. Sophie will take whatever she can get. And she needs it if she's pregnant. She needs to be off of that chain. Hannah's finding something she likes. Well, let me go get some lunch and we'll come back and see where they're at. There is one more gate to put in and one more very short piece of fence over by the stall. Hopefully they won't find it while I'm at lunch.